that a water bottle?
Somebody sounded weird there.
Yeah.
Sounded like a clap into like something hollow shaking.
It's like somebody hit their mic stand or something.
I think I probably
Maybe.
did.
Oh. Fair enough. Yeah, everyone can bong their bass.
I'm gonna bong my bass.
The base of the mic stand. I know what I said.
Okay.
I've already got a title for this one, Bong the Bass.
Welcome to Fuchsiacast number 37.
Good.
Okay,
Good
okay,
opener.
Yep. I'm just going to do it again. Welcome to Fuchsiacast number 37. This time Kay is laughing quieter. You can find all of our content at bottledfuchsia.com, streams at twitch.tv/bottledfuchsia, and mixer.com/bottledfuchsia, because Beam is Mixer now. That's a thing.
Yep.
Videos and archives of streams. Sometimes there's archives if Mixer lets there be. YouTube.com/bottledfuchsia, Facebook and Twitter at bottledfuchsia. On the podcast, I'm just going to go with Kay last, but I'm going to say her name first. Nanners,
Hi.
Aaron,
Hey.
Brady,
Hello.
Kay,
Hi.
and I'm John.
This podcast is going to be 5 minutes long.
It's just the intro and the outro.
That's it. We're Bottled Fuchsia, and we've been Bottled Fuchsia, and that's it.
Kabong.
Kabong. Bong in the bass.
Oh boy,
We're off to a great
Aaron,
start.
let's start with you. You missed last podcast buying a house and stuff.
I did, yeah. Well, we'd bought the house prior to that, and we were moving at the last podcast. Since moving and then spending a week without internet because I timed that wrong and had to wait almost a week to get Fios hooked up. But now I've got gigabit. Hooray.
Grats.
Yeah.
All
good
I
job.
have... What's that?
I said good job.
Well, thanks. It's, I haven't noticed much of a difference, to be honest. Somebody made a good point. Can you guys hear that?
No.
Okay. You can't hear it, but I guarantee it will show up on my recording. But my rabbit's having some water, so give me a second. Let me
Aaron, you're thirsty.
I drink from a little pipe with a little ball in it.
You spill otherwise.
I do, yeah. I end up
Just
bonging
like-
the base if I don't.
Like,
A little pipe.
licks the ball while talking. He's talented.
Wow.
hate you
That's
all.
a different podcast.
That's the Fuchsia After Dark.
Yeah.
Yeah. Give him a second. I'm gonna remove the bottle. And I'll put it back afterwards. Hold on.
Give him the fuchsia.
All right, buddy. All right. Sorry to do that. There you go. I'll put it back in a little bit.
Now he's just going to make angry noises at you.
No, he's just gonna lay down now. That's the fun of getting set up here. I don't have everything quite where it's going. I don't know where it's going to go. So the rabbit is in here with me, and I'm subject to all of his noise. Having said all that, after I finally got internet back up, all I've really had time to dive into has been Destiny. I'm still working on that Age of Triumph book, which is probably a lost cause at this point, but I'm giving it all the time I possibly can. Yeah. You know, in the how long? It's like 2 years that I've played it. I never did like pickup strikes or anything like that. So I've actually been doing that for the past week and a half, and it's been interesting. Sometimes you get into a really good group, and you know everyone works together. And it's fun. Sometimes you spawn in, and the other two people just take off, and they leave you behind, and you spend the entire time trying to catch them.
Yeah, that's sort of the MO with Destiny. Like a lot of people who are in those strikes, I feel like they play those strikes over and over. So it's like I land and I'm flying right off to where I have to go.
Yep, and they go. And if you fall behind, they don't care.
No.
Whatever. It makes me wonder about... so the current game doesn't have matchmaking for Nightfall Strikes and for the raids, which is, I think, the main reason why most people haven't done raids is because there's no matchmaking for it. But they've been talking up for Destiny 2 what's it called, the guided mode or the guided raid thing, where essentially
like
you can say I'm looking to join a group, and it's not quite matchmaking, but it is matchmaking, I guess.
It's like groups can flag themselves that they're looking for a person, and individuals can flag themselves, or I guess they don't flag themselves for it. They look through the groups and decide which one they want to join, and then join on that.
Oh, you get to pick a group. I thought you mark yourself as I want to join something, and then they like shop you around to groups.
No, it's the other way around.
Okay, all right. Either way, it'll be interesting.
They kind of described it as like I don't know if it's the same thing, but it's kind of like a Sherpa, where like one person can like guide the rest of the group through a raid or something. So
wait, is the person joining supposed to do the guiding? I thought the person joining was like if you wanted to.
I think it can go both ways. I've seen different reports about that.
Okay, I mean, I would like to do raids. Have we done one? I forget if we actually did any.
We tried to do the most recent one on the Extra Life stream, and
that actually was a raid.
Brutal.
Yeah. Yeah. That archive's somewhere, right? That video, that's somewhere.
Yep.
If people want to see us fail over and over, and then almost get it, and it comes down to one ball toss, whatever orb toss.
They'd have to break into my house and steal the footage. Because it's not out on YouTube, but it's there. It's just terribly out of sync, and we never did anything with it.
Oh, that's right. Speaking of the video on demands, by the way, you mentioned we're up on Mixer. Supposedly, they released an update recently that fixed the VOD, saving issue that they've had basically since they launched. I haven't gotten to try it out.
Mine's been hit or miss.
Still?
So, I don't know. I'd have to go back and look. But
yeah.
I can check it out.
Yeah, it'd be nice if that platform got more stable. It's not bad. I'm interested to see what they do with it. It's just, the things have to work.
Yeah, I was just streaming the other day, like 2-3 days ago, and I just checked, and there's no VODs for it.
Do you have the option enabled to save them?
You have to turn.
Yeah.
Okay. There's a setting that likes to turn itself off.
Yeah.
Maybe I'll double check that. But it even says you're eligible, and they generate them automatically. Here's where they go if you had some.
Mm-hmm.
If you had some. Clearly, you haven't been playing anything.
Yeah.
Or else there would be a video. Come on. Anyway, that's all I've been doing. Destiny.
Did you get to check out the ARMS test fire stuff, or not test fire? I don't know what they called it.
Test punch.
Test punch. Yeah,
test
the global
punch.
test punch.
Of course, they called it that.
Yeah. I downloaded the game, and then we took a weekend trip somewhere, and I have not. Are all the dates over? I didn't even look at the schedule.
I think so. I did the same thing. I downloaded it because I saw it was there, and then when it failed to launch, I actually looked up and saw that they were doing the same thing, where it's like you can play for 1 hour during this time, and then 1 hour this other. Fucking stop! Just stop.
Yeah. I mean, on the one hand, I guess that guarantees that you'll have a lot of people on at once.
It guarantees the spike. I get why they're doing that. It's just annoying.
Yeah, it is.
But, oh well.
No, that game's out soon anyway, isn't it?
Does
it come out before E3? I forget.
July.
Oh.
I think Splatoon 2 is June.
Okay. So I know you can already pre-order ARMS.
It's right at the end of E3, I think, Splatoon 2, and then ARMS is July.
Okay.
So
Brady, what were you playing and trying to stream that failed?
That was Player Unknown Battlegrounds.
Okay.
Still playing a lot of that game. It's very fun.
It is.
No chicken dinners yet.
What's the highest you've gotten?
I've gotten 2, probably like 5 or 6 times.
Okay. Yeah, I got 3 today and got too nervous and too shaky and couldn't shoot my gun accurately. Like, that game has an impact on my body.
Yeah,
Like-
heart rate goes up.
For sure.
Quite
Like,
a bit.
and I realize it and I sit there, I'm like, just stop. Just stop, body. It's just a stupid game. But I'm so close to winning. I can't.
Sounds like you need to bong the bass.
Yep. Just chill out.
Yeah, just
When I was streaming the other day, I was playing with Brian, and we were the third and second person left, and the other person killed us both.
oh, ouch.
So it was painful.
Has he won one? Did I see a screenshot?
did.
He did,
Yeah.
yeah, a solo one.
Of course he would.
Yep.
And it was right after he started a game, and I was waiting for him for a duo game, so it was like 40 minutes of waiting. He's like, oh, I'll just be dumb. And then those are the runs that you go the longest.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yeah, always. Every time I'm trying to get killed on purpose to play with somebody, I do really well.
Yeah, my number 3 run today, I was out of the blue circle for probably about 25% of that match because I started so far away that, like, I spent a bunch of time on the first, like, when you're outside of the circle, your health ticks down, and the first couple times it's not like a drastic, like, it doesn't hurt you a ton. So I was just running in that forever and then finally caught up. And then it moved like the worst possible way again. And I got caught a second time. And I basically didn't stop running for like half that game. And ended up just running in a straight line basically until the number 3 spot, like crawling sometimes, running sometimes. Like some guy took some shots at me from a building and I like just turned, fired at the window and just kept running and then saw like a name tick away. And I was like, I'm going to assume it was that guy because we're outside of the zone right now. That game's a lot of fun for how simple it is.
Yeah, I hope they keep up with the updates.
Yeah, more maps will be pretty cool, I think.
Yeah.
Have they added stuff yet? Have there been more maps?
They've added things, but not. It's
Oh,
been
like gear and stuff?
mostly fixes, not.
Yeah.
They said they're going to add another map that's the same size as the current one, and then yet another one that's like half that size. So I don't know how that's going to work, or if that might be something after it gets out of beta.
Maybe it's just like a smaller player pool. So if
Yeah, I don't know
It's
if that's
not
going to be for
peak.
like a 50-player map.
if they're not like at peak time, and it's just like, okay, we need to get as many people as we can into this smaller map, it'll like default to that. Because I think that would be interesting.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I saw some videos of private matches in that, and it seems like you can do some pretty funny things, like game
Yeah,
types.
custom games seem awesome, but they're only giving out a limited amount of custom game things, like popular streamers and big communities and stuff like that.
Of
Yeah.
course.
Yeah, I saw someone, it was like a group playing, maybe it was like 10 or 20 survivors and like 75 to 100 like zombies, which were just like unarmed punching people. So it's just like hordes coming after them.
Were they AI or
No, it was all
controlled by
people.
Okay.
So like the people were like running like in groups and came in waves and stuff. It was kind of funny to watch. And they were just like out in the open. They didn't have cover, or like they weren't in buildings, so they had no real choke points. It was interesting to see. So my fear is that the player unknown guy just abandons this game and goes to the next one, like DayZ or like some
Yeah.
of the other stuff.
Isn't that kind of like a good thing though? Like it seems like the mod community then just sort of takes it over.
He is the mod community though.
Okay. Well,
He's-
like
by jumping and making it, for him it's smart. He's jumping from thing to thing, and like it becomes the hot thing for a while, but it also like splits that community and gets people really interested in something to then have it die like several months later, like rather than trying to get all of. And maybe that's what this will be. Maybe like this is his attempt to get everyone in one player pool that's like his game, as opposed to doing mods for other things like DayZ, and I forget what the other one was, like HZ,
Is that H1?
H1Z1.
Yeah.
That's what it was. It's basically Battlegrounds for H1Z1 that he had done. So I mean, it could be that this is his game now, and he's going to stick with this one. So
That'd be nice.
So beyond Battlegrounds, I did play some more Path of Exile. I know you guys are very surprised.
Always.
But I checked out some of the races. They're usually like 1 hour events that have some weird gimmick. And the one I tried was kind of PvP oriented. You can enter anybody else's zone and you're hostile right away. And killing somebody, you get 30% experience. Getting killed by any means, you lose 30% experience. And you also drop all of your like equipment and inventory except for gems and flasks.
Oh my god.
Yeah, it's pretty brutal. So I didn't get too far. I think I made it to like level 14. But the funnest part was towards the end. It shows you these messages that flash on the screen like so-and-so is the first person to hit this level or this zone. So I kept seeing this one guy flash up. And then I all of a sudden see him pop into my instance and then start running directly towards me. So like, naturally I panic a little bit and start running around, and I made it to another zone, and I basically juked him in and out of different zones for about 10 to 15 minutes.
Wow.
In an hour-long race. So I feel like that's how I won. It's just by like griefing that guy. Like he did not make it to the top of the ladder because he was just wasting time chasing me. So it was 100% worth it.
Nice. So that they're adding more to that, or is that mode going to go away, or they cycle through?
They're just races, so they'll have like race kind of seasons. Usually they're towards the end of leagues.
Okay.
And they'll just be like short-lived things. I think the longest race is usually like 2 weeks, maybe. Some are 24 hours. Most of them are an hour. These races, you got entered into a lottery to get 3.0 beta keys.
Ooh.
Okay. Nanners, what have you been playing?
Everything.
That's not new.
Yeah, on the list it seems that way.
Yeah. What I'm gonna actually talk about this time is Headlander. So Headlander was out last year. It was published by Adult Swim Games, and I think Double Fine made it.
Yeah, I think that was Double Fine.
Yeah, I wanted to say Double Fine.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure it was them. Yeah, it was Double Fine. So I buy a lot of Humble Bundles, and I saw that was in. Yeah, so shocking, I know. So I picked up not the most recent Humble Bundle because it just switched over today to something else, but I picked up the Adult Swim Games Humble Bundle, which has Duck Game and Headlander and Rise and Shine and Wasted and a bunch of other really good stuff in it.
Westerado,
Yeah.
I think, is in there,
Yep.
right? That's a good game. You should check that one
I'm
out.
probably going to play that next. But Headlander, I really didn't know what to expect. I'd actually watched it at PAX 2 years ago when I was there. I thought it looked interesting, but it also kind of seemed just like a run and gun Contra type thing. So I wasn't super into it. I never really checked it out last year. That game is a Metroidvania sort of thing, though. So there are 4 powers, I think it is, that you unlock. There's multiple areas to go back to. There's unlockable secrets. There's a whole bunch of upgrades for your character. The story itself is kind of weird, but good. It was a lot of fun to play, and I actually ended up beating it in like 2 days because I could not put it down.
Wow.
I think it was only like 7.5 hours long, but it was well worth it.
And like the gimmick of that game is you're a head that can go from body to body or like different things.
Yeah, so you're like this head that like wakes up in the future and you don't remember anything, and there's this like voice of another human telling you what to do and where to go, and the controls are keyboard and mouse, and it's you like fire off a body, you can fly around infinitely, and you can suck the heads off other bodies using like a vacuum thing and then take over those bodies. And when in those bodies, if you're in like the enemy bodies, you can shoot. If you're in civilian bodies, you can dance. there's robot dogs and vacuum cleaners that you can take over. But you have to complete puzzles. There's doors that only open for like certain colors of robots, so you need to be that type of robot to get it to open.
Okay.
Yeah.
And the 4 powers that you talked about, are those like they go with you from body to body then?
Yeah, so they're permanent upgrades to your head. You upgrade like your power to boost, and then also your health. But the bodies are pretty much all sort of the same. The enemy bodies have like different laser shots, and there's certain puzzles that then rely on you using those to do certain things. But like at one point, you can unlock a charge shot. The blasts feel very Metroid-like. It's very referential in that way, but it has like this 70s disco space sort of theme to it.
Sounds very Adult Swimmy.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah.
Seems to fit right in their theme.
Yeah, that whole bundle seemed to be like all like if you looked at that list of games, you would say these seem like Adult Swim published games. That publisher has actually gotten really good at what they do, or like what they go out and find and decide to publish. Had you said like a few years ago that Adult Swim would be publishing good games, I would have laughed, but they really do a good job. So kudos to them.
I think the first one they put out that I played and actually liked was Volgar the Viking.
Yep. That
That one's in that bundle. Yeah.
Yeah, I played that during Extra Life a couple years ago. All the way at the very end, too. So I was falling asleep while playing it. It's extremely difficult, but a lot of fun.
How far did you get in that?
The 3rd level.
That's good. I don't even know if I got to 2nd level before I rage quit and uninstalled.
Yeah, it took me days to get to that 3rd level. It's all about memorizing where everything is and being really, really careful not to take any hits because you can barely withstand any of them.
Yeah, that game I looked at and I remember Brady talking about a bunch and was like, nah. So
Yeah, but it seems like since then, like they've just all their games are very varied, I guess, in theme and play style, and they've just gotten better and better.
yeah, I mean, Duck Game is one of theirs, and that game is one of my perpetual favorites. So
No, that one's great.
they apparently also publish the Rick and Morty VR experience, which is super, super good. So
Yeah, that's not surprising since it's an Adult Swim show.
yep.
Is that one a full release now? Is that still early access or something?
No, that was a full release when it came out.
Uh,
Yeah, it's not super long. I think I pretty much beat that whole thing, but I think that was maybe like 4 or 5 hours, which for a VR title these days is kind of long.
yeah.
I mean, that might be kind of right. With a VR headset, I don't know how long you want to sit in there and keep that on.
Yeah, I find that like 6 hours in it at a shot is a really bad idea. So
That sounds like a lot.
Yeah, that's a long time for playing like any game.
Any
I feel
game.
like,
Yeah.
let alone
one stuck to your face. Yeah.
correct. So the past 2 weeks, I guess I've had Battlegrounds, which Brady already talked about. I'm continuing Persona. Still in the 5th Palace. I think I'm about midway through that one now.
Oh, I just met, like, was introduced to the 5th Palace.
Okay, cool. I don't know that I like the gimmick that this palace has, like the puzzle, I guess, that it has you do. I don't find it very fun, and I'm just sort of brute forcing my way through it because you can sort of do that through fighting instead of doing what it wants you to do. I dropped the difficulty down to easy, and I found an item and bought it that gives me 7 SP back every time it's my character's turn, which
Yes.
I need that for all of my characters now, or at least 4 of them, and I'm just going to cycle it to whoever I have in my party at that time because that's useful. Like health, I feel like I never have a problem. SP, like...
Which is essentially like the mana.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
That I felt like I was perpetually low, and it's hard to find items that bring that back without paying for them, and then you're out of money a lot of times. So that spending a bunch of money on one that brings it back and then finding enemies that you can aren't really hurting you that much, so you can just keep cycling around after round to just build that back up is kind of useful. That being said, I have died at the part I'm at like 3 times in a row, even on easy. So there are too many elements in this game. I feel like I spend like 15 minutes just, okay, I'm going to try this one. Now I'm going to try this one. Like, better try fire. Better try ice. Better try wind. Better try lightning. Better try nuke. Better try psycho. Better try light. Better try there's too many. The fact that they added 2 more since Persona 4, I feel like doesn't help. And I guess I understand why they tried to make it so every party member who like joins your team is unique, but I could have done with fewer of those, because I feel like, especially in big battles, it's go in, figure out what they're weak to, probably lose that battle, and then do it over again, but this time you know what they're weak to, and the fight is like way easier when you know that. Like, it's still a very good game, but that's probably my one nitpick with it, and I wish there was a way to sort of like scan and figure that stuff out or something. Maybe there is, and I just don't know it. But mainly I've been playing those 2 things. So the other thing I throw on this list is I downloaded Magickarp Jump and put that on my phone.
You did send me a text about that, and I was like, what the fuck is that, John? And then I never looked into it.
That looks like the best mobile game of all time.
Yep. So it's an official Nintendo mobile game where you are on an island or an area in the Pokemon world where everyone there loves Magikarps. And
As you do.
And instead of fighting them, they have competitions to see whose Magikarp can jump the highest. So you like the basic game is you start it and your Magikarp's in a pool, and then you click on the food and it eats the food, and that gives you a little bit to level it up, and then you have like 3 trainings that you can do, and that will give you a larger portion of like training power, or what, I can't remember what it's called. And then those come back like every 10, 15 minutes. You get one of those 3 back, and maybe you can get more.
Are they mini games or anything, or do you just
Nope.
you do training and that's it?
Yep, and then it like randomly says you did a good job, you did a great job, or holy cow, you did really great. And depending on what you get more points. After those events, it can trigger random side events, which are like, hey, there's something shiny. Do you want to get it? And it's like, okay, sure. And it's like, great, it was a pearl and you get bonus training points. Or it was a piece of glass, you lose training points.
What?
This island's littered with broken glass?
That's not even the worst one, Nanners. There's one that's like a tree and there's fruit in it. It's just like, okay, it looks like it'll give you a lot of points. Do you want to do it? It could be dangerous. I'm like, yeah, okay. Are you sure you want to do this? I'm like, why are you asking me twice? I'm nervous, but okay. And I was successful and I got the fruit and it worked. And then the next time I did that, a Pidgeotto flew down and just took my Magikarp away. And I had to start over with a new one.
It's a glass tree.
Yeah.
Wow.
You lose all your training points.
So, and in that game, you're ultimately training it up to, you catch one and then it has a max level attached to it. and your trainer level goes up. And as your trainer level goes up, you can catch Magickarp that have higher levels. So you will train one up to its maximum level, then you go to the jumping events and basically jump your Magickarp until it loses. And it's, okay, well, it's at this level, it's never going to get better, it's retired now. And then you go fish and get a new one.
Tired.
And it's still
You throw it
there.
up in that tree on purpose. Move on.
My old ones are swimming around in the background, offering advice to the new ones.
Offering advice?
I used to be like you.
When you get a new one, your most recent one talks to the new one in that they both sit on the screen and a lot of dots just happen on this screen, and then the new one just jumps by. For how dumb the game is, it's got a little bit of charm to it, so I'll give it that. I haven't.
How much have you played it? Like, how much time did you put into this?
I mean, probably a couple hours over a collective 2 weeks at this point.
Right.
It's.
Are you still playing it?
I will fire it. It's essentially a clicker game.
Yeah.
That you log in, you eat the food, you make it do the training, and then you close it. So I don't know. I'll keep firing it up, and because it doesn't take up a lot of time. I've been through I have 3 of the badges now, and I think there's 6 or 8. I can't remember. So I don't know. Maybe I'll see it through, but every time one of your Magickarps retires, it inspires the other ones so they train faster. So that it basically makes it so you don't have the same grind every time. It's just I can click on one piece of food now and my Magickarp will go up 4 levels immediately.
Well, that's kind of smart. So you don't have to go through the full grind every single time. Yeah.
Right. If they wanted to be evil, they would have done that. But I feel like maybe they had that and were like, no one's going to finish this ever. But it's all right.
How much freemium's in that game?
I actually haven't looked to see if I can buy things. I'm sure I could.
You have to be able to. Come on.
Yeah, there's got to be something in it.
You can buy
so-
an NES game for a month.
So yeah, I didn't talk about the town and the shop. So in the shop, you can use coins to level up the food that appears in the tank or pond or wherever your Magickarp lives, and level up the training regimens. So they give you more JP, is what it's called, for jump points, I guess, to level them. So you use the coins for that. You get the coins from Pokeballs in your tank that you can just tap on, or when you go to jump other Magickarp, you just take all their money.
So,
and then also in those events, you get diamonds. And then the diamonds let you buy friend items, which are other Pokemon that come to your pond and you click on and they do things. Decorations that'll be you get a 10% bonus to food if this is in the bottom of your pond. And then they have the items, which are training soda gives you 1 training point back so you can train again. You can swap out diamonds for coins to buy some of that stuff. So my guess is that you sure can buy, diamonds. There it is.
yeah, I'm looking in the iOS store. It's got a little section for the top in-game in-app purchases, and the most expensive is something over 2,000 diamonds and over 2,000 exchange tickets, whatever those are, for $35.
Yep. So I have yet to find a need for any of that stuff. I mean, I guess you could level your Magickarp faster, but that's the whole point of the game. So I don't know.
Is there a conceivable end game? Can you get to max Magickarp?
I
jumping?
mean, there are the badges, so I assume once you have those, that's kind of like the end game. So yeah, I guess there could be an end game to it.
Is there any PvP? Can you jump your Magickarp against somebody else's Magickarp?
No, I don't think so.
Missed opportunity.
It's okay. They'll just be like Pokemon Go and add it like a year and a half later when no one's playing the game anymore.
Is that still coming for that? I haven't played that in forever.
Yep, that's coming for that. They're finally adding actual trainer battles instead of the terrible gym battles.
Yeah, have not played it in forever. And what's sad is I actually the last time I had it open, I've maxed out my inventory. I've got stuff. I just never turn it on anymore.
And I didn't expect to talk about Magickarp Jump for that long, but
That's
Kay,
yeah.
please save us.
So I've also been playing Persona, and I feel bad in a way because like every week I say that, but at this point
it's so long.
Yeah, I put 50 some hours into that game in a month. So like if you figure, I don't know how many like weeks I've been playing it and how many hours in a week, like that's pretty much all I have time for.
That's over 2 days of your month, which is pretty substantial.
Yeah. I've been playing Nier, but not nearly as much. But mostly what I played this week is Battleborn.
What?
And you're all
What year is
sitting
it?
down, so I'm allowed to say this, but I thought it was pretty good. I didn't really understand what a lot of the hate was about, but I also played it on a free trial. So maybe because I didn't pay for it, that's okay.
Wait, so it's not free to play? It's a free trial?
That's the free
It-
trial, not the
it
free
is
I'm so
a-
confused.
You can play it for 30 days and then it uninstalls itself.
And you just install again real quick.
Yep.
And just keep going.
Right on the T, Brady. You just set it right up there.
Yeah. But really, so before talking about that whole controversy, because I am the segue. I set John up for this. I really did enjoy it. I played mostly actually like a single player campaign. I don't know what they want to call it, but there's like kind of like a single
Story
player
mode.
mode. What is it?
Story mode is what they're calling it.
Yeah, like a single player story mode, and I really really liked that. I highly encourage all of you. You can probably Google it. Google search Battleborn story prologue, I think is what the name of it is. And watch that, because fuck do I want to play that game. Like, where is that game for me to play? It was so good. I just sat there and watched it and stared at it. I don't know, maybe it's 2K and Gearbox were damn do they know how to do like a title sequence intro cinematic, but I really really dug that intro. And then the gameplay was pretty good. Like, I enjoyed the gameplay. It was fun. The writing is fantastic. Yeah, but so because it's a free trial, I couldn't progress in the story mode.
So how do you progress? You have to buy some coins or something?
No, I think for the story mode, it's like you'd have to buy the game proper.
Okay.
And I don't
But
know
you
how
could
many
play
hours it
multiplayer?
is, but depending on the price of the game, I would almost say it's worth it for that. I did also see Battleborn at $5 below on the PS4, so I know somewhere it's at least $5 if you want to play it on PS4. I didn't
That was part of a bundle at some point.
Yeah,
For
no,
pretty
it was, and I was really bummed because I kept thinking about getting that, or I don't know. I think really, unfortunately, that just suffered from coming out at the same time as Overwatch.
It's right before, wasn't it? I think like right before.
Like maybe
I think,
2
like,
weeks
yeah.
before or something. Like it just, it was way too close. And I mean, Gearbox has a pretty good reputation and a marketing machine, but I think the Blizzard and Overwatch was just way too much for it. I think maybe had that come out at any other time, or maybe had it come out earlier, I think it might have done better.
How does it compare to Overwatch? I mean, I don't know anything about Battleborn. I never paid attention to it. Is it a competitive shooter? Like,
Yep.
Yeah.
Isn't it more
It's-
MOBA-like, though?
Yes. So, if you don't mind me talking about it a bit,
Yeah.
I actually played the beta of Battleborn for like 30 hours or so.
That sounds like a lot.
Yeah, I did play it a lot. So
So is it an indicator that you didn't buy the game when it came
no,
out?
no. So I mean, Overwatch came out soon after, and I picked that up, and I kind of forgot about Battleborn. Some of the writing struck me as not the best in the world, like pretty cringy. But overall, like the way it plays is you level up throughout a battle, and I can't remember if you level up individually or as part of the team. But you have a skill build that you pick from. At the end of the rounds, you gain XP, which affects your player level. Your player level determines what characters you have unlocked, and you also get drops of chests, and the chests have gear in them, and the gear actually has stats associated with it. So you can go into a match with a certain build, gear-wise, and then you're buying your stats as you go and level up in the match. So it is much more MOBA-like. There are lanes, more or less, and there are creeps, and you need to either escort the creeps to certain areas so they can detonate or attack, or you need to, just kill the enemy creeps. One of the levels had like spider tanks that you needed to attack, and there was like a mid-range sort of tower tank and then a like boss level one, and you need to defeat both those to win the map. So it is much more like a MOBA. It kind of reminded me of Gigantic, if anyone remembers that. No?
Nope.
I remember seeing it at PAX,
Yeah.
Yeah.
not actually playing it.
I played that a bit as well. And then Smite, I think, is the other one it kind of reminds me of. Smite, I think, was just third person, though.
Smite is just straight
Yeah.
up third-person MOBA.
Yeah.
yeah.
So most of the characters in this game are fairly well designed. Like, there's one that just looks like Master Chief, kinda. I don't know what the hell that guy's
That's a
name
good
is.
design. Let's just go with
Yeah,
that.
exactly.
We called him Soldier 70 Chief.
Master Chef.
That's your chef.
Yeah. His name is Oscar Mike.
Of course.
Yep, so there you go. But like there's a
Of course.
robot English gentleman. There's this like mushroom ninja guy. There's a luchador that had his arms cut off who now has giant robotic arms. Like it is a fairly interesting game.
I just remember that being on the cover of Game Informer when I still got that, and there was a giant man with a big gun and a tiny head.
Yep. You're like, where's the trucker cap?
Sure. Okay.
I'm confused on the pricing here since they introduced the free trial but not a free to play mode. Just looking at the Steam page for it, all they have is the free to play option and then $30 in DLC you can add on.
Yes.
Amazon still seems to have copies of it you can buy, but that seems like that's not the primary way to purchase it anymore.
So I'm going to say that segues us to the news, unless you had more. So, okay, when that came out, all sorts of ridiculousness happened. Basically, when it got announced that it was free to play,
But it's not free to play. It's a free trial.
it's a free trial. It's not free to play.
Yeah.
So, and if you look at about 50% of news outlets, they just list it as free to play,
yeah.
because you go to Steam and Steam lists it as free to play.
Mm-hmm.
But then Steam also has DLC, the full game unlock. So I guess what I would question, and I'm not sure if you know it from your time playing, Kay, like what do you get out of the free part? Because you said you hit a wall with the story.
Yeah, and it was what I would hope would be a very short story, like you would expect a trial to be. Like it was a good trial into the story mode. And again, enough where I definitely want to continue that story. Like I want to buy it for that mode. You get 6 rotating characters.
And is that for like the PvP or the
Yes.
single player story? Is the story
The story was just one person that I'm aware of.
okay? So
I
it's-
mean,
the
you
story
might
like gives you that person, and then you just go with that person.
Yeah, and you might switch later, but I didn't notice that because I just played the trial. So you got the 6 rotating characters.
So it's like the standard MOBA thing.
Yeah.
And do you earn any kind of currency that you can buy other characters with?
Yes. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. You do. You get different coins, and you can buy different characters and I think skins and other things with them.
They have
They
loot
also-
boxes too.
Yeah, they
Mhm.
were, from what I understand, quite generous with those who had previously bought the game.
So that's the thing. Like, you don't offset the costs that somebody already put into a game if you're not making it free to play.
Yeah.
Like, introducing a free trial doesn't mean, oh, by the way, we need to compensate everybody who bought a copy of this game. Just saying that sort of lends more credence to people referring to this as free to play.
As free to play. Well, the game has also been out for a year now, and so I can't imagine that this is the only game. I want to say like Elder Scrolls Online, where like they came out as like you had to like buy the game and had the subscription, and then they eventually dropped that, and now
That's
Yep.
you've described every MMO that has
Yeah,
come
a lot
out
of MMOs.
Yeah.
since WoW.
yeah. So and not that this is an MMO exactly, but like
It follows that same path of
Right,
they
like, you buy
collected
the
while
game-
they could.
right.
And also
then-
like jumpstart the player base.
Yeah.
You know, like not enough people are playing to make people that bought it, you know, an
Happy.
enjoyable experience. Yeah.
Right.
So I
Sound-
don't really get why this is such a big deal, like why it's so controversial, or I don't really understand why Gearbox is so averse to the term free to play.
Marketing.
You know,
Marketing.
Randy
yeah.
pitched
yeah,
marketing.
okay. Yeah.
It has become a term that, for good or bad reasons, kind of brings on negative connotations. Like, oh, this game's not as good because it's free to play, which like it doesn't make sense. Like, League of Legends is like, yeah, we're free to play.
Yeah.
League of Legends, like,
Mhm.
there's nothing wrong with being free to play, but it just sort of has a negative stigma attached to it, I guess,
Yeah.
that they're trying to be like, no, it's just a trial. Like, well, every other thing like this is called free to play now. I mean, granted, if this were like 10 years ago, calling it
Yeah.
a trial would have been fine, because
Yeah.
that's what a trial was at that point in time. But we've sort of moved into this area where free to play describes what this game is. Like, you say free to play, and people probably immediately say, okay, so I probably have like a rotating cast of characters that I'm going to
The
get.
expectation is there.
Yeah.
And
Calling it
purchases, all that stuff.
calling it
Free
a free
trial is like how many hours do I get? Like,
Exactly.
When
Yeah.
how
Yep.
long
When
is
does
the
it
trial?
expire?
Is it like a free to play weekend like Steam does those? I also think maybe this game almost doesn't quite know what to be either. Like again, Gearbox has a history of like mashing up different genres and whatever, and like the single player kind of campaign story mode, but also with a PvP aspect. But like, how do you put a single player mode in a MOBA? And maybe that's didn't set people's expectations where it got some of the negative press. I don't know.
Yeah, and to me, hearing about that single player mode, that almost sounds kind of like an extended trial, to be like, or not tutorial. That's what I meant to say.
Yeah. Everything's a trial.
Yeah, But like, okay, you're gonna play a round or two, and it's gonna proceed the story as this character, and then this character. So like, you get used to the characters in like a single player environment. Yep. So it's not like I'm gonna jump online and get my shit stomped, and this isn't fun. I'm never gonna play this game again. Right. Like actually making a single player that you would hop from character to character that's in that game, where you sort of learn the mechanics. Like that's smart. Like that's a smart thing. And more games should have something like that.
Yeah. So I should say, back when I had played the beta, I think they let you play like up to the 6th or 7th story mission. They are all like, they all have their own separate voice acting, and they actually sort of explain who some of the characters are. There's at least, I think, 2 characters who are, like bad guys that you unlock from playing the story, or you unlock later from leveling up, and like their motivations are explained in the story. Back when I played it, though, you were actually able to pick whoever you wanted, so you could kind of get used to all the characters, and you could also play that cooperatively.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
I was wondering, by the way, like when they sat down and decided they were going to call it a free trial, do you think anybody in that boardroom tried to float the idea of, let's just call it a beta again?
Yeah.
People like betas? Come on.
It's true. If you never leave early access, your game doesn't have to be good, ever. You can just collect all the millions of dollars from the streaming community and all their watchers, and then just never release, and that's fine. Or when you do, just release and say, okay, we're done now.
Sequel's already on the way.
Evolve 2.0.
Yeah. Oh.
Hey, 2K. Does any of this sound familiar? Because this is 2K almost doing the exact same thing. And they called it free to play with Evolve. So maybe they were like, let's not call this one free to play. Let's call it something different. Sure. And from what I heard, I mean, when Evolve went free to play, that did breathe new life into that game because it was free.
Sure.
People went back and checked it out, and that game wasn't bad. It was just, you probably won a group of 5. Getting random groups is never fun, but anyway. So on to more news. I'm going to go with this one first because I feel like there's probably not as much discussion. But Square Enix has decided to bring Final Fantasy VII's remake back in-house, and they are no longer going to use CyberConnect 2.
Who?
Yeah.
What?
CyberConnect 2 has made the Naruto games that come out like every year.
Oh, okay.
Those are very fun. I'll vouch for that.
Right. They made the Dot Hack games. I played those. I thought those were fun. They're a known developer. They've done things.
All right. Now, they were only sending pieces of the development to them?
Is that? I'm guessing, yeah.
Yeah, and now they're just reeling it all back in. I'm just wondering, I haven't played those games, the Naruto games or the Dot Hack games, but how much of what's in those games would lend itself to a successful Final Fantasy VII remake?
I don't know. Maybe the engine.
Maybe. I mean, we already know the remake is going to be different from the original game anyway.
Yeah.
I mean, maybe they just kept putting headbands on all the Final Fantasy VII characters, and they're like, no, stop putting ninja headbands on Cloud.
Made them look goofy while running.
But the arms are back.
The arms are back. We can't uncode this. This is how our engine works.
It's probably a good move, I guess.
So I just wanted to throw it out there, because does anyone care?
Well, yeah, that was my thing. Like, are you excited by that? Like, Final Fantasy VII remake?
I already think it's going to be a train wreck. I will play it. I did like the original game, and I don't expect this to. I think what people actually wanted was just a new engine HD remake of that game.
Yes, 100%.
Same engine, same combat stuff, all that, and it's not going to be that whatsoever. Nope. So already, like, all bets are off. Like Let's just see how much of a train wreck this is.
So, and that is probably the game that is I can't believe you never finished this game. That's my game. I never finished it. I've started it a bunch of times and I never finished it.
Oh, no, it's like 80 hours. No, I can believe you never finished it. A lot of people didn't.
So to me, the idea of a remake was like, okay, if it looked prettier, maybe that'll help me get through it because it hasn't aged particularly well.
No.
But from the point that this was announced to it's going to be an episodic release, like I have basically assumed, and looking at Kingdom Hearts and Square Enix's like history of like how these things are happening, this game was never going to come out in like the at least 5 years since they announced it.
Yeah.
It's not coming out for
Yeah.
the PlayStation 4. I just want you guys to know
There's
that.
going to be a 4
not.
in the PlayStation. It comes out. It's just going to be 14, so.
And I remember taking shit from people when they and Sony was smart to show the footage and make it happen at an E3 because people who don't pay attention to video games that much are like losing their shit. Like, oh wow, Final Fantasy VII, I'm buying a PS4. To which I replied to a lot of people who don't pay attention as well. It was coming to PlayStation 4 first, not exclusively, and also it probably won't make it to the PS4.
No.
So go ahead, buy your PS4, but have fun waiting.
Yeah.
And
So
that's exactly what happened. It's
Gee.
the last Guardian.
Oh, God.
Don't say that.
Now we're just depressed.
So there's another piece of information out of this that I thought was interesting. But this goes back to the original announcement when they came out at that E3 and they said, we're going to make a Final Fantasy VII remake. And they said Tetsuya
Woo.
Nomura was going to be the director
Woo.
for it. And what's that?
I'm just wooing,
Oh,
and
you're just wooing.
I'm feigning excitement.
Well, so they announced that Nomura was going to be the director, and in an interview, like immediately after that presentation, he told someone, "This is the first I'm hearing of this." Like he had no idea that they were even going to make that thing, and it just came out of nowhere. And as part of this announcement that they were bringing development back in house, they've also changed directors. It's no longer Nomura. Now it's Naoki Hamaguchi, who worked on looks like Final Fantasy 13 Lightning Returns. That was the third one in that series.
Oh, good.
And Mobius Final Fantasy. So, yeah, I think this doesn't read very well. This doesn't bode well for the entire thing, in my opinion. But it was doomed from the start.
I mean,
I'll play it, but it's
right.
doomed.
In 10 years when it gets released, sure, I'll play it.
Right. Yeah, when episode 1 comes out in 10 years.
When it's its 30th anniversary and they finally release it.
Right. And then instead of making an episode 2, they'll just make another animated movie.
But you know what? Good on Sony for fucking showing that clip and getting people to buy PS4s.
Yeah.
Because they've already made 2 more PS4s since they announced that, and everyone bought their PS4s.
Yep.
Fucking don't buy in. Wait for the games you want. Also, console wars are stupid.
Yep.
Yeah. You gotta be a fanboy. Come on. Go all in.
No.
Tell everyone else that their consoles are wrong and they shouldn't play games on them.
Yeah, they should play on PC. I think we've established that already. So
Actually,
No,
yeah,
even
yeah.
that is wrong.
you're right. Vita's only from now on.
Vita's only.
Yeah.
We just sold 3 more of them.
Nanners Unite.
Oh,
Competition makes better games for everyone, including consoles and PC.
sorry. The Vita thing just reminded me. What was the other thing we saw the other day? There was a tweet from some random account about Phantasy Star Online 2
Yes.
supposedly getting a
That was a
Western
fake,
release.
right?
Yeah, it was fake.
Yes.
Okay.
But in that tweet, it said, I'm pretty sure it said it was going to come out for the PS4, the PC, and the Vita. And I was like, there, Vita
most
release.
powerful
This
systems.
is a lie.
How to spot the fake.
Yeah.
Yes.
Declaring
No way.
something will come out for the Vita. Sony doesn't even talk about the Vita.
Nope.
But
It is the superior handheld.
It
That's
is?
the Switch now.
Nope, that's the Switch.
Yep.
So maybe that
You're going
leads
to-
into
No,
one of our other
no.
news items then.
Oh
So
yes,
how does
please,
voice
please
chat on
tell
the
me.
Vita work?
Please tell me all about the voice chat on the Vita.
Yeah.
You buy a headset.
You have to actually make a
and
phone
you
call.
Plug it in. And there's voice chat. I don't know.
Tell me all about all the games you play on the Vita that require voice chat.
Uh,
I never had to ship my Vita back to get fixed.
Touche.
Look, we didn't have to send the entire thing back. Just
Just
the method of control.
left
Yeah.
Joy-Con, so I could still play with a tiny right Joy-Con. All right, so all of this is a roundabout way of discussing Nintendo announcing their new voice chat system, and it is a fucking nightmare.
oh boy, let me find the graphic of that for those that
Yeah,
haven't
that
seen
diagram
All right,
was just.
okay, Nanners, do you understand the diagram?
Yeah, let me pull it back up. Just
Was
Okay.
that diagram not one of our Extra Life layouts? Like that was actually just the
John's
Kinect.
diagrams were way simpler than this thing.
Well, no, I'm just in those
That's-
diagrams we have to set up like 20 consoles to like 3 TVs, and
Right,
this-
it has
this
to go
reminded me
through.
of it.
It has to go through a mixer that looks like a squid.
Yeah.
Yep. All right.
Can you get like a special edition like squiddling
I mean,
dongle for that?
it is
No,
actually
it is a squid.
It's squid
It's a fucking squid
because it comes
It's
with
squid
Splatoon
shaped.
2.
Oh, I've only seen the black and white.
Does it actually-
diagram version? Is it actually a squiddling?
Yeah. Oh yeah, it's supposed to be a
Oh.
squid.
Jeez.
I think.
Okay, so at this point, if you are listening to us on the podcast, go look us up on YouTube and skip forward to about an hour in, and you can look at the diagram.
Okay. So what this is you need a few different pieces. You're going to need a Switch. You're going to need
Good. Got it.
cellular phone.
Got one.
Yep. You are going to need
That's specifically an iPhone, by the way.
yeah. So that's an iPhone. So it has an extra adapter because fuck everything.
Right. Yeah.
You're going to
Well,
need this.
Yeah, I mean that comes with the phone, so you
Yep.
already have one.
Well, do you have it on you? You now have to have it on you at all times, or permanently plugged into your.
Mine just hangs out the phone all the time.
Does it?
Put it in my pocket. It says, no, I don't have a iPhone, whatever that is,
Okay.
7. I have an old one.
Gotcha.
That also implies that I'm going to want to voice chat when I'm wandering around with my Switch. So.
Yeah. Well, or sitting still with your Switch. Anyway, and you're also going to need a headset. So what happens is the Switch gets plugged into the Squid dongle. The Squid dongle gets plugged into your phone, and the headset's plugged into the Squid dongle. And basically, the chat software for the Switch will run on your phone. So I don't know why the fuck you need to plug it into the Switch. That part I didn't get.
I think it's so you can team chat with whoever you're in the game with at that point in time.
Well, it's
But if the app's handling that,
yeah, it's just passed through
But
from
the-
the console sound, right?
No, I don't think so. I'm guessing the app. I'm guessing the
might
Switch
be.
and I don't know.
no, I think it just might be passed through for the game sound.
Yeah, so the
Yeah,
chat audio's
you're right,
through
it
your
could be.
phone, the game audio's through your Switch. They both come into the headset. Yeah. I should also note this would be part of the online service that you're going to need to pay for.
Well,
So
that's every company these days.
To be
Yeah.
fair, Nintendo's pay service is $20 for the year, so
yeah,
they win.
yeah.
They win with that one.
yeah,
They
I
do,
will
yeah.
say their announcement on that is a bit underwhelming. They said that they're going to start with 3 NES games, and they're considering whether they will add Super Nintendo games.
They will.
Yeah,
They just can't. They
Pretty
think
much
about
everything on the PC now, I'm sure will come over.
think about Nintendo and think about how conservative they are with
Yes.
everything they do and everything they say. Of course, they're not going to say anything that they don't have working at this point in time.
True.
Yeah.
And $20 for the year, fine.
Yeah.
That's cheaper than most games.
I should say
Yep.
they've also pushed back the online service from the test being this summer till the test being in December, January.
Yeah, 2018 is when their online system goes official. So it's basically free for everyone until 2018.
So does that mean like when it goes live, like the current Mario Kart Online, you'll have to have the pay service to actually use? Probably.
And once it goes live, you'll need to pay for it to use it.
Okay.
I'm guessing. My understanding was it was just free for everyone until it starts. So congratulations, you're getting the trial.
This voice chat thing is a hot mess.
Yeah.
So back to the Vita being awesome. It does have voice chat.
Did you
through
talk to
just a
somebody in the
built-in
room with
app.
you?
You could use Bluetooth headset or the built-in microphone. Or if you want, you can use Skype, which can run in the background.
Yeah, my favorite part about this is the fact that the Wii U tablet had a mic built into it, and so does the 3DS, and the Switch does not.
No.
Wow.
The both of those had cameras built in too, like user-facing cameras.
So this seems like the ultimate Nintendo. We didn't give a fuck about this, but you seem to want it, so here. And I guess Hori was the maker of this product.
Yep.
So they basically were like, I don't know. Nintendo told us to fix this, and here's what we came up with, I guess.
Sorry, everyone.
Does anyone talk when they play Nintendo games anyway? Now you're not going to want to.
I want to hear people pooping.
I think Nintendo's whole thing is they want people to pick up their Switch and go to other people with their Switch. So why would you play any game online? Because
Why would
What
you
if
use
you're
voice
on
chat?
one rooftop and I'm on a different rooftop?
We gotta shout at each other. Like,
also, what if I have this Squid plugged in and apparently the cables are only 20 inches long?
yeah, you gotta leave your phone over by the Switch if it's like docked and you're sitting on the couch.
And get an extension for your headset that has to hang out of the whole thing.
Right.
Or
this is good.
Or you know
Can I put
what?
a mixer in somewhere?
Wait.
You need at least another mixer.
So
I kind of
Look like
want
an
to.
octopus?
I kind of want to do that now because I think it would be really funny to put a mixer in the middle of that.
We could. I mean, we've done weirder stuff recently. I just
My favorite part about this diagram is you could erase the headset, erase the Squid mixer thingy in the middle that has cords coming out of it, even erase the Switch entirely, and just look at the phone and say, "Oh right, we could just all be on like Skype on our phone or Discord or anything." Which that might also be Nintendo's thing, where they're just like, "You're not gonna use this shit anyway. You're all using Discord. Everyone's using Discord. Like, why
Except
would
for
we
us.
design this? Yeah, because we're using
Ventrillo.
Ventrillo that hasn't been updated in 3 years.
Like, why can't you just plug in like earbuds or some normal 3.5 millimeter jack with a mic into the jack on the Switch?
Yeah, that.
Oh, well, that
Like,
won't
does that
work
work?
on iPhone 7.
Yeah, that's why you need the dongle.
Okay.
Yep.
Yeah,
So-
if you have
as far as
the dongle for
mic
that,
into the
it
Switch,
does.
I assume that port doesn't handle
Yeah.
voice input. So
It's not a
That seems silly to me.
TSSR
Yeah.
or TRRS. Tip.
it's whatever,
ring,
like the three stripes or
Yeah.
whatever it is. Yeah.
I did want to. I had a point to make, and I've completely forgotten it now. So perfect.
And that's been our
Yep.
show. So you can find us on.
I mean, that's an accurate summary of our whole podcast. We had a point to make, but now we forget it
We've
Yeah.
gotten lost along the way.
because Nintendo did something this week.
I can't decide if I want to title this podcast Bong the Bass or Squid Dongle now.
I like Squid Dongle.
Squid Dongle's good.
Bong the Squid Dongle.
Bong the Squid Dongle. Do we have any uplifting news? Any good news?
No, never.
Hold on, I'll make some
Even
up.
if we did it. No, I'm not going to allow it.
Lightning round. Aaron, what do you want to see at E3 this year?
And I just brain farted just completely.
Chicken fingers.
Something good on the Nintendo Switch.
Wow.
That's it.
Damn.
Very broad.
Something not depressing.
Shots fired.
It's high hopes, man. I don't
How
know.
about a decent virtual console plan?
Yes.
At least I know that the
Okay.
VC itself won't be there.
Nanners, what do you want to see out of anyone at E3?
Something fun for VR to look forward to.
Okay. Brady, what about you? What do you want out of
Path
this
of
E3?
Exile 3.0.
the thing you know you're going to get, so you can't be disappointed.
And I already know they're there talking about it.
Yep.
Okay, how about you?
NASCAR, got it.
Okay,
Sorry,
the biggest
we're-
NASCAR fan.
We've got an appointment to go see that, and I don't know why.
Please, please, please wear like a trucker hat into that. That would be
No.
the best.
They won't let us in if we don't have them.
Okay, there you go.
Have to wear a
Okay,
camo trucker hat.
we bought you time.
Yeah, go.
NASCAR.
Perfect.
The
I'll
MOBA.
I'll let you know how
NASCAR
NASCAR
MOBA.
Heat 2 is. Mine, I want a reason to buy a Scorpio.
Okay.
Yeah, that's a good one.
Good luck.
Yeah, I agree, Brady.
Fable 5?
Nah, I don't
I
need
thought
that.
Fable was dead.
Yeah, with the fate of the last ones. Oh yeah, wasn't the
Last one was a
the
Kinect
IP like
thing,
die
wasn't it?
completely or?
Lionhead closed, so
Yeah,
that's what it was.
Lionhead
Yeah.
closed. Microsoft, I think, still owns it, so they could still do something with it. But
Fable
Yeah,
HD.
I've got a 4K TV. I mean, I would like a reason to buy a Scorpio, but they
The PS4
kind of.
Pro didn't do it for you.
I'm not going to rebuy a PS4 a year after I bought my first PS4. So,
Mm.
Yep. Anyway, that's mine. We've been Bottled Fuchsia. You can find all of our content at bottledfuchsia.com, streams at twitch.tv/bottledfuchsia and mixer.com/bottledfuchsia, videos and archives of streams at youtube.com/bottledfuchsia, Facebook and Twitter. You can find us at Bottled Fuchsia. And have fun at E3, everyone, if you're going.
That's
Or
that's
if you're
you.
not going, that's probably better because you can just watch everything from your home on a stream.
Yep.
So you might be the real winners here.
You don't have to drive all over LA because nothing is in one place.
You're not driving, are you?
Well, we'll have someone drive us.
Oh God.
See you in 2 weeks, everyone, unless we get lost in LA.
Bye.
See ya.
See ya.
Bye.